Hi, Martin here at GSA Golf, Naples, Florida again. Looking today at the Bcam ball spin camera. Bcam ball spin cameras are available in two different types of casings. This is the standard casing, and we've also got a cabinet casing for the floor-mounted versions. The Bcam camera has two possible mounting positions, either floor-mounted, opposite the player, 5-10 feet away, in which case you can use the spin dot balls, or overhead mounted, in which case you use range balls with a line marking on them. I'll just go through some theory here about how the Bcam camera works without any cameras connected to the system. Note that as such the Bcam is not a standalone product. It's usually used in combination with CX cameras, CX4, but you can use the Bcam setup for testing the Bcam camera. If you are using a setup with the Bcam camera, the system will continuously grab frames in order to find a reference frame of the ball on the tee. During this process, a small animation indicating that you should place a ball on the tee will be shown. If you want to use the Bcam camera in the overhead position, you'll have to use range balls with a distinct line pattern on them. The system actually uses two frames of the ball, one of the frame 1 being the reference frame, an image of the ball on the tee, and the second frame will be of the ball just after it's been struck, some 1 millisecond or so later. Using the two images, we can then calculate the amount of rotation on that ball within the 1 millisecond. If we mount the Bcam on the floor opposite the player, we can actually use the spin dot balls that we have. Using spin dot balls, we don't have to align markings on the ball to the camera. The dots on the ball actually make up a unique pattern, and these are detected in both frames. The dot pattern in both frames are matched, and we select two of these dots, the red and the green dots, to calculate angles, and thus the amount of rotation within that time period. If we select composite frames, we can see both images of the ball together and see the amount of rotation the ball pattern has rotated within the time frame. This then allows us to calculate the spin rate in RPM. Okay, so that was some basic theory, so let's now see the system in practice. For this test we're using the Bcam in the floor mounted position and using spin dot balls. The first thing we have to do in a new setup is to aim the camera to a ball on the tee or tee position on the mat. Put the camera in video stream mode for this. We then have to set the zoom and focus. Aim the camera so that the ball on the tee appears in the bottom right hand side of the screen. Setting the focus can be a little tricky, but it's very important that we get the focus just right. Okay, now we're ready to hit some balls. So place the ball on the hitting mat, and in a second or two the system should detect the ball and switch to frame 2. I'll just check for this test to see that that ball is actually there. Yep. For this test I'll use a wedge, which should produce fairly high spin rates. After the shot, we can check the images to see that the spin dot pattern was detected in both frames and that the amount of rotation was calculated. You'll notice that the spin rate is fairly high with a wedge, even with the slow club head speed. In fact, you can get over 10,000 RPM with a wedge. By the way, the Bcam is effectively a launch monitor too. Similar to our LX slide, you can see the launch angle, and when put into launch monitor mode it will also detect ball speed. I'll do another wedge shot now, and once again we can check the images to see that the pattern has been detected in frame 1 and in frame 2. We've also got a fairly high spin rate here. In contrast to a wedge, a low lofted club like a 4-iron will produce relatively low spin rates. Here's a shot with a 4-iron. And we check the images again to see what launch angle and spin rate is produced here. and another forehand shot. This shot also produced a relatively low spin rate. Note that the shots in this video are with the Bcam floor mounted and using spin dot ball. I'll do another video later showing the Bcam in action when it is overhead mounted. The advantage of the Bcam in the overhead position is that it can be used for both left and right-handed players. Its disadvantage is that you'll have to line up ball markings to the camera for every shot. Using the Bcam in the floor mounted position and using the supplied spin dot balls eliminates this requirement. Okay, that concludes this short introduction to the Bcam camera. Check out more details of this product and all our other products on our website at GSAGolf.com. Thanks for watching and bye for now.